very mobile.
So we're about to get underway. Umpires Hayden Kennedy, Matthew Head and Justin Schmidt. Fine at the moment. Maybe rain a bit later on. And McDonald gets the first knockdown. Maxfield caught high by the 300 gamer Ashcroft. And the Swans will get the first takeaway. Leo Barry bounces his way from half back. A second. No one comes at him. All the Lions flooding back. Voss backtracks. He leaves it for Chris Scott. Got a fist on it. Notting. Saves it this time. Lepic. There was a question mark over whether he would play. Has started in this lineup. Brad Scott chips it over the top to Michael, and he has some space to work in. Johnson has a bounce. Second. Thinks about a third. Does get a third. Shepherd on. Hart lays a Shepherd. Handball inboard to Black. Now White. Long pass inside 50. Lynch. Also a doubt over his name, but he has taken his place in the lineup. Picked up by Shawble. Looping handball over the top. They'll work it out. Saddington. Got it from Creswell. Now Creswell gets it back from Craig Bolton, and Hall takes the mark on the wing. Good movement, there's the Swans. Jude Bolton, spearing ball wide. O'Loughlin, 50 from goal, takes them on. Central kick, good!
They're linking well with their handball. I know it's very early days, a minute and a half in, but Sydney Swans are playing with confidence. You can see that they're coming off the back of two formidable wins against Melbourne here at home and last week against Collingwood. They're very confident in the back half to just share it around by hand.
Well, they've got as much talent in their forward line as just about any side in the competition. I think with Barry Hall playing up the ground more, it's got their balance better structured. O'Loughlin and Goods can come in behind them, and all of those players are 6'3" or bigger and very mobile at ground level. And this bloke, he looks outstanding in the hooped socks, and he's an athlete and a half.
Certainly is. There's been a big shortener in the Brownlow in the last week and a half, and he drives it home for the first goal of the afternoon.
Goody Two-Shoes off to a flying start with the first goal. Mick O'Loughlin and Barry Hall all involved, but Dermot, it was set up by a good flow of play right deep in defence. Creswell bringing the ball through, and Bolton.
This was important here, holding on to it and just getting his composure so he could deliver perfectly.
Nice tricks. There he is, Goods up against Justin Lepic.
Back in the middle, McDonald to do the ruck work against Ball. Up they fly, Ball got a hand on it, knocked it down in Hart's direction. Jude Bolton stole it, got the takeaway. High inside 50, coming at it, Michael. Tapped it down, it bounced unkindly for a couple, but not for Bolton. Got it to Goods. High and wide kick from his boot. And out of bounds on the full free kick to the Lions.
They're three daunting players to match up on, Dermot. Goods, Hall and O'Loughlin.
Especially the way O'Loughlin is moving at the moment in the first couple of minutes. Brad Scott to Black, back to Brad Scott, well worked. Long towards the wing, no one home for the Lions. If Matthews can get back, and if it bounces kindly, which it didn't, but Cray slapped it to him in the end, helped him out. Two number fours working together, and it's out of play in front of Martin Pike, who is the only player in this Brisbane Lions outfit to have 3 premiership medals, but who knows, in a matter of months we might have a few more with 3.
Playing centre half forward, I thought he might get the role there in the absence of Jonathan Brown.
From behind, beautiful knockdown by Ball to Jude Bolton over the top. Matthews gets a Shepherd, kicks inside 50. O'Loughlin, he looks lively.
Well, O'Loughlin on White is a pretty reasonable matchup athletically, but when the ball's delivered in this fashion, doesn't matter whether you're Carl Lewis or Darryl White, you're not going to be able to run down anybody. And Ben Matthews just kicked that ball magnificently.
Has been a great goal kicker across those 169 games.
Look at him, he's taken 2 metres to the right. He's taken another half step to the right.
He's making out his stretching at the same time.
Yeah, he'll do it again. Well done. Well done, Michael O'Loughlin.
One of the nominations for the Swans Team of the Century lines up. Set is a known goal kicker. That is goal number 250 for his career, and the Swans have 2.
Well, you couldn't get a better start than this one, Dermot. Unbelievable transition of the ball into the forward line. And they're getting it in quickly. If you're going to upset the Brisbane Lions defence, you've got to get it in there quickly to prevent them teaming up. Got to make Chris Johnson accountable and isolate them if possible. It's good in theory, but putting it into practice has proved to be incredibly difficult.
We were told that the Swans have a slight breeze in this opening term, and if they have, they're using it well. McDonald wins the knockdown, but to Williams. Swans with another takeaway. How will it bounce? 4 under it, ball thumped by Power. Tried to get it to a teammate. Davis just overran it. Lappin from half back towards the wing. Another bouncing ball. Ackermanis tried to knock it to Pike. Got it there, Saddington. Good tackle. Knocked the ball free. Ackermanis and Crouch. Yeah, the umpire will have to sort it out. Justin Schmidt calls for a bounce.
Going to be a tough day again for Jason Ackermanis. Jared Crouch in really good form. He's got some big scalps, big name scalps this season. And Acker's going to have to be on his best form if he's to break through.
Donald knocks it down. Creswell nearly had it. Kennelly close to the boundary line. Doesn't take it out. It would have been obvious had he knocked it out initially, and now it does travel out off the hand of Tim Notting, and we will get a ball in.
Let's have a look at this. There's Mickey O'Loughlin. The umpires look the other way and he's taken 2 steps to his right, and now another one. When he looks again, he's taken 4 steps to the right to open up the ankle. Well done.
Very clever. Black's got it. Creswell has him, and we will get another bounce.
Well, forwards love to make their lead, the initial step on their lead, when their opponent takes their eyes off them. Well, he's just waited till umpire Hayden Kennedy took his eyes off him while he was lining up.
Another bounce, Black. Got the handball to Lappin. Tackled well by Kirk. Creswell through traffic. Matthews ducked into and out of a tackle. Got one for too high. Ben Matthews wastes no time. This is it off to Creswell. Awkward kind of kick, but it finds Craig Bolton playing against his old team.
Hold it up here. There's nothing ahead. He'll hope for the boundary.
Line towards the boundary. Hall might have no option but to just tap it out. Good option. Took it out of play.
That's a win.
Hart and Michael were with him, and down on that boundary line, Anthony Methven.
Thanks, Dwayne. You mentioned Jason Ackermanis there, Jared. He had a very disappointing game last week on David Johnson. He was sour as an old puss after the game and really looked to be down in the dumps. Interesting to see how he goes today.
Craig Bolton gets a free on the wing. Goes wide, Davis. Can he get there in time? He can, but the ball eludes him and travels across the boundary line.
Yeah, Mitho makes a fair point. I saw that match last week, and at various stages I just thought Jason was on the verge of doing something that he was going to regret. Frustration creeping into his game, and hopefully it doesn't lead to a trip to the tribunal.
Back into play. Goods just took it out of the air with one hand. Magnificent piece of work. Chris Scott to Brad Scott. The brothers on Mother's Day combined. Chip kick, dangerous. Gathered by Notting. Loops it over the top. White. Ashcroft slips. Danger here. Hal makes it look okay. Has some space and some time. Goes long. Under it. Kennelly.
Free kick to Barry McDonald. He got the big push out from Jason Ball. I think he stumbled himself a little bit, which forced Ball to come into his back.
Handball to Ashcroft. Inside 50. Lynch on the move. 1, 2, 3 grabs in front of Shawball.
Made a tough work there. Alistair led out into the forward pocket very early on, and the kick was poorly delivered to him. So he's actually leading all right. He's had a little bit out of the game, a couple of weeks now. Lepper's crept down.
From out of the gutter he runs. Long kick, not bad off the boot, brings it back.
Great kick.
Hit the posts.
I would dare say.
That's the thickest post padding in the AFL.
And it just snicked it on the way through. That would probably be a goal at any other ground with the lesser padding, the thinner padding.
Good ploy, the Swans.
Oh, well done. They'll take them off and put the thin ones on up there when they kick that in.
That way. Maxfield, wide to Davis. The way back into fence. Number of Swans wearing these white slipper-style boots. As Nick Davis is this afternoon, goes wide, and the mark's taken on the outer side by Saddington. Chips it. Davis gets it back again, and they have opened it up beautifully, the Swans. Ball, has ball, and some room. Had a bounce. Long kick towards attacking 50. Jude Bolton there. Edged under the contest. Power with the crumb. Brad Scott, boundary line, ball. Happy to see it out. Jude Bolton not getting a free. Just having a look at Alistair Lynch's shot in a little while to see how much of that padding it took on the way through.
Jude Bolton, Dermot, on Chris Johnson. I reckon he'd be there in a defensive role.
Yeah, absolutely. Stop his run out of defence. He's been so good at taking the ball away from defensive 50.
Ball in dispute, tied up. We'll get a ball up.
Let's have a look at it now and watch the ball snick the post. That's going through.
Just the top little bit.
Definitely gone through the back of the post there, and they are huge padding.
Well, the ball actually
devices.
crossed the line and then hit the post.
Yeah.
Ball up,
He's
half
stiff.
forward. Power, had a bit of it early. It's this one to Williams though. Caught a little high. Umpire saw it. Free kick. Swans will get another inside 50.
He's been tagged by Hart, who's standing the mark here. He's got Hall up ahead and O'Loughlin to the pocket.
238th game. Spears it to O'Loughlin. Has it just inside 50.
There's no doubt that Barry will occupy the slice of the pie right up the middle and get Crummers at his feet. And O'Loughlin has the creativity to go out wide.
Improve the angle. Goods, a big fly. Hall had hands on it. Maxfield snaps and he misses a behind. Barry Hall did everything right. 14 goals this year, Barry Hall.
Good hands.
55 goals last year. Just couldn't hold on to it, Barry Hall.
Anywhere else on the ground, and that might be considered in the back.
Chris Johnson, another with the white boots to bring it in for the Lions. Wide to Power.
They're actually called champagne.
Champagne boots, are
That's
they?
the colour that Adidas nominates they are.
Scott to Hart. Well, they play champagne football, these Lions, so appropriate they wear those boots. Over the top again, Chris Scott. Another possession for him, and he finds Pike on the wing.
Mikey, he is the decoy centre half forward. He'll be leading up from the centre of the square, the middle of the square, up to the wings.
Goes with a high bomb. Ackermanis flies. Big fist over the top by Crouch. Ball knocked down. Kirk tucked in. Took McRae on. Got it to Goods, and that was clever. Crouch just took it out, but Goods with some beautiful soccer skills there. He was brought up on the game of soccer. Let's go down to Anthony Mithen.
Yeah, the padding on the post, not the only strange characteristic at the SCG here. There's some rubber knobs out there that we'll explain a little later on.
Yes, if you can please, Mitho. Pike to Voss from 50 metres. Long kick towards goal. And he is champagne.
He's about 2,000 a bottle at the moment. Because everything he touches turns to absolute magic.
He's Krug.
Is that his first touch? I think it might be his first touch for the day.
It is.
And straight through for a goal. They're taking their time to warm up this outfit. And right now, the way the Swans forward line is functioning, they're going to have to get into top gear at some stage if they're to win this match. But Voss doing what he needs to do as a captain and getting them away.
First goal of the Lions against this slight breeze. Back in the middle. Charman now in the ruck. Knocks down beautifully. Got it down to Black. Scott to Scott. Spearing ball wide. Brennan just off the bench at half forward. Couldn't take possession. And it's out of play in front of Brennan and Leo Barry.
He came on and Sean Hart vacated the field. And Simon Black, he left the half-forward flank to go in and play on in the middle of the ground now.
Charman. And ball got double hands on it. Craig Bolton to Kirk. Goods gets there.
It's going to be a tough ask for Lepper because he's got to pick up Goods on the flow through because Goods is running up in the middle of the ground but playing centre-half forward. If he can do both at once, Goods is doing that as we see the ball trickle over the boundary line. So he just starts at centre-half forward. If the ball comes in, he'll play legitimately as a centre-half forward. It floats down the back. Goods will just run down there and follow it. So Lepper sits at home and has to watch him in general play and pick him up on the run-through.
Ball back into play. Michael to do a bit of the ruck work against Hall, although they couldn't get there in the end. Williams, hands and knees. Got one a little high. Fosdyke flips it, throws it. Kirk kicks it toward the goal square. No one getting back. It goes
He is a tough matchup. They're full of them, aren't they? I mean, Barry Hall is a full forward. and he's a good player, and he takes a very, very good backman in Mal Michael. But Goods is unique, and Michael O'Loughlin, when he's on, he is unique as well, and he is a tough matchup. Do you put a small, nimble player on him, or do you put somebody who can overpower him in the air?
Yeah, they've got the same problem with two players, the other one obviously being Goods. But I think where the Swans are doing particularly well, and it's an area perhaps we weren't expecting, is in the loose balls and the stoppages. Paul Williams there won that one. They won another one down here on the wing to get them going. And that's the area that the Brisbane Lions need to address.
Charman against ball. Crouch knocked it down. Powers, fourth possession, wide. Race on. Saddington gets there first. Looping handball over the top, finds Creswell. He's got Fosdyke on, ignores it, goes with a bounce.
No one to give it to.
Power waits under it. Nick Davis comes hard. Power, solid.
Nick Davis has got to read the play better than that. He's got to push up. He only had Luke Power in front of him. He should have been the target. At any stage in any game, you've got to have someone where you can give a contest.
Brad Scott, centre half back. Brisbane under pressure, yet to lose a game this year, but the Swans at the moment have their measure a long way to go.
Says something about the competition, doesn't it? The Brisbane Lions have the least possessions of anybody in the comp, yet they're the only team not to lose a game.
That's efficiency. Brennan, he is better with one hand than most players are with two.
I just wonder whether we'll finish on Adam Goods or O'Loughlin at some stage today.
Lynch, ball punched free, well played by Shawville, got it to Creswell. Danger. Williams just in time. They've worked it beautifully. Shawville, Barry. Ackermanis comes at him. He takes Ackermanis on. It's the handball over to Goods. Inboard. Well worked. Crouch. Wide ball. Race on here. Hall will have to really motor. Michael's behind him. Hall to Fosdyke on the left foot. Spears it to Davis.
Had to go there. Lepper was sitting back in the goal square. Inside 50s, 10-5 in favour of the Sydney Swans. So they're controlling the ball in the middle of the ground, but they're rebounding so well out of their own defensive end. That's a necessity kick.
Umpire pushes Davis. He runs around. Kicks toward goal. That's what they pay him for.
Well, if they get up here, they will be legitimately the giant killers, the Swans. It's a long, long way. We're in the first 100 metres of a marathon. But I tell you what, you'd want to be this far ahead at this point in time than the other way.
It just comes down to talent, though. The forward line is just chock full of it. If they get the ball in there quickly, they're going to be dangerous.
Potent Swans forward line at the moment. O'Loughlin's got two, Davis one and Goods one.
And Barry Hall isn't on the board yet, so you know he's going to get some.
Charman got hand on ball, tried to get the takeaway, almost through it. Voss. Long bomb towards Lynch. Just getting a hand on it in time with Shawville. Stop Lynch from taking the mark. Dishes off to Pike. Uncharacteristic fumble while Brennan finishes it off.
Voss goal. Brennan does the finishing, but a Voss goal. Good get out of the centre. Nearly a Lynch mark, but they just almost forced that one through by sheer weight of numbers and strength. Here's Voss once again. That's all you need here. Get the ball into your attacking zone.
Pikey gets out of jail here. Watch the fumble when it comes over. There's the spill, which he wouldn't be all that happy with, but follows it up. Once again, Jared, Voss he's just got the ability to impose himself on a game. When things are going against his team, he just stands up and says, "No, that's enough."
He's pushed himself now into the forward line, deep into the forward line, being picked up by Leo Barry.
Charman again with a hand on it, coming through hard. Jude Bolton, well played, got it towards Williams, slipped. McRae, Lappin, stolen by Kennelly. The athlete got the handball up, tried to get it to Fosdyke, might get it free. Ball tied up. The umpire will sort it out with a bounce. Ty Kennelly.
It is easy up here. I know that, but once you just look at it, when it was Bolton who comes up with the fumble after this handball here, if he has clean hands, they're away.
Not his natural game either, Ty Kennelly. He said it was like trying to catch a rabbit when he first started trying to grab this odd-shaped ball. Crouch caught for holding the ball.
Now Lynchy has led well on the 2 occasions he's been given the opportunity. He's got room out to this flank.
Pike long. Lynch the target, edged out of the contest, ball to the back of the pack. Williams just grabbed it in time. Voss was about to pounce. Good mark. Held his feet, played on. Brilliant athleticism from the big man. Bolton's got it. Jude. Free man on is the other Bolton. Craig might get it now. Power comes at him. Just waited a bit too long. Davis. One-handed pounce. High inside 50. Brett's got over the top of the fist. O'Loughlin. Here's number 3.
Well, that's it. It's time for one of the Scott boys, I think, now. I know he's going to beat them in the air, but one of the Scott boys will just niggle the life out of Michael O'Loughlin. Now, see, I mean, Darryl White is a footballer, and he's not even in the shot there.
Oh. Three goals to Michael O'Loughlin. Had a little brush with an umpire, which we don't like to see.
And I think you'll find Jared Brennan's going to finish up on one O'Loughlin. He's down in defence now, and Darryl White will go forward.
Crouch, an uncharacteristic kick.
Yep, it's Brennan on O'Loughlin. He's one of the few blokes they've got with the athleticism to go with him or Adam Goods.
Creswell to Kirk to Jude Bolton.
It's a big ask, isn't it? Was he 5th or 6th game of league footy? The most potent player on the ground. In the premiership team, you can't find anyone else except for the rookie.
Ben Matthews, it's Mother's Day. He might have received a present today. Ben Matthews, given that he was Mr. Mum for about a year. Michael on the wing. They don't get away with it here. Brad Scott and Jude Bolton. And we'll get a bounce. Let's have a look at this. O'Loughlin.
No, that's a week. No, that's a week. Try put it up and they'll get a week for that.
He'll get off it because the umpire didn't tell him his intended path.
Unbelievable.
Did he say sorry?
Maybe they can have that at the Summit on Tuesday.
He's got a blood rule here, I think.
Yes, Mickey O'Loughlin said a week himself, had his finger in the air. It's a disaster, this rule.
How much are you going to give it?
And
1 week.
Hopefully they get it sorted out. Just going back to the last goal, I reckon what Sydney are doing that most sides can't do, and that's separating their defence. You saw Goods with the ball and Lepich up on their back flank.
Working it from defence. Black gets it to Brad Scott. Hall tried to stop his kick, pushed it a little wider. Bradshaw flies, got a hand to it, couldn't take the mark. Matthews, they are inspired at the moment, the Swans, and they have the loose man. Goods back to Matthews, wider. Schauble.
He's playing a ruck roving role at centre half forward. Now Lepich this time won't go with him. He's just hanging back across the half back line. Key to the Swans now will be to get it over Lepich's head.
Craig Bolton. One side to the other, back again. Spearing ball, Saddington.
They've got him on in the middle as well if they go short this possession.
Fosdyke. O'Loughlin's the go-to man at the moment, so they go two. Not quite.
There's a waste. They had runners on the inside there coming up the spine of the ground, and they would have made the goal square with the secondary possession from that. Just trying to be perfect. And Brisbane, you just can't try to be perfect against them. You've got to play the percentages sometimes.
Back into play. Over the top, Powell knocked it away from Charman, Kennelly, O'Loughlin. Now Matthews inside 50 again. Schneider's waiting back of the pack. Powell's with him, knocked it clear. Schneider fell. Powell picks up, kept his feet to the outer side. Lepich and Davis. Davis gets there first. Thought about keeping it alive, buffeted it out by Johnson. Down to that boundary line, Anthony Mithun.
Yeah, Dwayne, I mentioned those rubber knobs. There's a couple of them in the middle of the ground inside the centre square. They're about 2.5 foot by 2.5 foot, and they're exactly the same sort of rubs that Sean Wren slipped on Diddy's knee and is suing the AFL over.
Black picks up. Lepich about to get caught. Kick around the body. Pike. Saddington. Ball. Saddington got it out. McRae. Kirk. A little push. Yeah, you read it well, Jared.
Well, it was started off as a pretty good tackle, and then he just ran him into the dirt, which is going to give them a chance to kick it up towards the Lynch factor.
Lynch takes the mark.
Good lead again.
It's a fair point that Mitho makes. I mean, Sean Wren would be flabbergasted to find that there's a ground in the AFL with rubber knobs still involved, and there's two of them here.
Lynchy's Pulled around. Let's see if he does the Michael O'Loughlin.
Well, he'll have to take the padding into account. He didn't do it from here last time. You can see the angle for yourself across the face. Goods flies with a big fist. Knocks down Ashcroft. Ackermanis runs. Maxfield. Good tackle. Umpire said ball.
You could just see the thought process going through Ashcroft's mind then. He's thinking, I'm a backman. Now, what do I do here? My options are, and that's too long in league footy.
Swans from defence again. Kennelly.
Geez, running well, Sydney.
Half back flank. Barry. And he has some space down the outer wing. Chips it towards Hall. Gets there. Good mark. Plays on. Schneider has been kicking goals this year. Drop punt off his boot. Very, very wide. In fact,
he was kicking goals
on the full.
He had them in his mind. He should have been going straight to Mickey O'Loughlin. But just going back to Brisbane, their problems stem purely and simply in the centre. Lappin's had just 2 possessions. Voss has had 2 possessions. Hart's had 1 possession off the ground, and Ackermanis had no touches.
Brennan to Black to Power, back to Black. It wasn't attractive, but effective in the end. Bradshaw.
They were his first 2 kicks, Simon Black.
One bloke who is getting the footy though is Simon Black. He said 2 kicks, had a few handballs.
6 handballs though. Just didn't quite kick to that on the end of it.
Lepic almost had it. Ackermanis caught. Good tackle laid by Crouch, and we will get a bounce just on attacking 50 for the Swans. Creswell having a sit down. Another one nominated for the Swans, South Melbourne Sydney Swans team of the century. Bounce. Jude Bolton close to the boundary line. Kirk now Crouch. Little Shepherd from Goods. Wide kick Davis.
You can lead up on Chris Johnson. He will concede the front position. If you're willing to lead up close to the centre of the ground, he'll allow you those short chip kicks.
Bolton.
Jared Brennan in the forward 50 by himself against Mick O'Loughlin. He'd have to be nervous.
Mark Powell, second game. Takes the mark. First selection in the 2001 draft for the Swans. Inside 50. Schneider. Half held. Played it okay. Charman. Lappin. 1 minute remaining. Opening term. Wide. Johnson takes the mark. Half back flank for the Lions. 3-goal lead to the Swans. The breeze worth about, well, 1 maybe 2. Scott from centre half back to Pike takes the mark. Half back flank. Ashcroft peels wide.
Got the 2-on-1 and they worked it pretty well.
Plays on immediately. Over the top with the handball to Brad Scott. Cutting him down Maxfield. Got the kick away just in time. Lynch flies over the back. Matthews read it well. Happy to concede a behind.
Every time that they've gone in there for a contest in the air, when the ball's spilt to the back, it just hasn't been one Swan player crumbing it on the rear of the pack. There's been 2 or 3. They float to the back of the pack, but it's reliant on pressure in the midfield, so the kick isn't perfect, but they're doing it very, very well. And when they win it at the back of the pack, they just seem to swarm away and team with handball.
Most experienced Swan of all the players playing today, Stuart Maxfield. Good man to have the ball with just seconds remaining in the term. Game 245 for him. He goes wide. Big fists come toward the boundary line. Crouch. Jude Bolton plays it to himself. Ackermanis, good tackle. Ties it up. Jude Bolton continues though, and he gets a free for being legged. Time might beat the Swans here on the outer side. Ackermanis getting a little restless. Ball wide, and the mark's been taken by Lappin. And that ends a good term. Good opening term for the Sydney Swans. That man, Paul Roos, should be an extremely happy man, and there will be an angry man. He has not touched the ball in this opening term. The Brownlow medalist from 2001 has some work to do, as does the reigning premier. Sydney 5-1-31, Brisbane Lions 2-2-14.
And even the midfield coach doesn't believe they've won enough of the contested possession.
The best thing about this for a competitive match is concerned is that they've got gun players that are proud and they'll get back into it. So should be a fantastic match.
Second term underway. Ball and Charman went at it. Ball kicked by Kennelly wide towards the wing. Brad Scott, Lappin over the top to Black. High kick inside 50. Once again, Swans getting numbers back, and leaping Leo Barry takes off and takes the mark. Danger here. Kennelly coming at him. Lynch. Kennelly gets up quickly, knocks it toward the boundary line. He played that well. In the end, the ball out of play, and Ty Kennelly, who won that Ron Barassi scholarship with the help of Basil Sellers to come over here as an Irish recruit, is certainly rewarding their faith. Form this year has been magnificent.
Williams now on Michael Voss. Great matchup.
Lynch in the ruck, couldn't gather it out of the air. Powell on hands and knees, and we'll get another bounce.
Kirk's gone over to Lappin. They were interchanging, Lappin and Voss, in the first quarter. Now they both look as if they're on the ball.
Kirk with him, as you said, Gerard. Tagged Nathan Buckley last week, although Buckley did have 31 possessions. Free kick out of the ruck contest. Kirk had it 19 times, so 12 possession differential between him and Buckley last week. Ball wide.
I noticed Jamie Sharman almost shadowing Adam Goods as well. They've got Lepich behind him and Sharman out the front of him.
Ball finds Schauble with some space. Drop punt inside 50. Hole! Well, he was in the middle of the two Lions, and the ball was kicked with precision and with a bit of luck through the air, and he took the mark.
It was important that it was a low flat ball, because you see Sharman behind, and if it doesn't travel low and flat, Sharman is going to make this contest. If that's still hanging in the air now, he would make that and it'd be spoil. So really good low flat kick into the forward line.
Yet to have a kick, yet to kick a goal, of course, and only 14 this year so far. His fourth disposal though, so he has had his hands on it a couple of times.
Mel Michaels a couple of metres back off the mark here.
No angle to contend with, should be a formality, brings it back, straight over the goal, umpire's hat.
Well, it's a great conversion, anywhere from just on the 50. It's not an easy kick, and the Bustler just got inside that, but he still kicks really.
Generated by Schauble. His man was standing on the mark 20 metres out from goal, the other end of the ground, Alistair Lynch. Schauble just took it on himself. I'll run off and create here. Good positive play.
Biggest margin of the game so far, 23 points. Bright sunshine at the SCG. Ball and Sharman both got a fingernail on it. Creswell almost the takeaway. Three lines collide, which is a good sign in the middle. And we'll get another ball up. Bosdyke slowly getting to his feet. Maxfield among those having a rest for the Swans, rotating the midfield. Bounce, Charman wins it. Just over the head of Black. Creswell again, who had a rest late in that first term. Matthews. Craig Bolton goes with a long kick towards Hall. Flies. Michael tries to claim the mark. Did he get the first touch on it? Goes with a handball to Voss. Wide ball from him to Lepich. He runs the outer side wing. Got a handball over the top. Danger here again for the Lions. Lappin, McGrath, Lepich. They'll get out of trouble, maybe. Pike goes back to Voss. Wobbly kick to half forward. Ball grabbed again. Handball over the top from Saddington, and they are away. Williams through the midfield. Long drop punt towards full forward. Davis is down there. Off hands. They'll try and rush it. Johnson takes it through for a behind.
I'm convinced Jason Ackermanis is suffering from, he's obviously a little bit out of form, but he's suffering from the dimensions of this ground. It's very difficult to play half forward here. He's getting trapped at the half forward zone, and here, because of the shortness of the ground, you actually get bombed away underneath the ball, and he's not a tall man, and he's having to go to marking contests. He's got to find a bit of space. He probably needs to run through the middle at least to get hands on the footy.
Craig Bolton had his hands on the footy, kept it alive in the end. Mopped up his own mess. Ball finds Williams.
Creswell.
Short, and he takes the mark. You read it well.
Well, they're just a little bit flustered here at the moment, Brisbane. It's unusual. We don't really see this, but Sydney are moving the ball so well. They've got so much mobility that they're finding themselves in situations, Brisbane, that they're not accustomed to. Just looking at this Lepich Goods matchup, Dermot, Lepper wants to stay back. That's his instruction. Goods wants to run him up to the wing and then drop him back.
Yeah.
And maybe they're going to have to bite the bullet and just put a ruck rover type on him just to go man on man in a tagging role.
This will test Darren Creswell. Drop, punt. Has it got the carry? Will wait. Goal!
It's a great kick once again from Darren Creswell, coming to the end of an outstanding career for the Sydney Swans. And he may change his mind, because all of a sudden this is a pretty exciting mob to hang around in the space of 6 quarters, Dermot. They've gone from a concern for the AFL to maybe one of the great attractions, because they play great footy.
Margin out to 30 points. Hard to believe Darren Creswell was shipped on from Geelong, who had enough midfielders: Couch, Buse, Scott, Denham, Bairstow and Adrian Fletcher, and he might turn out to be the best of all of them. From the ball up, Bradshaw slipped the handball out. Power inside 50. Brad Scott, Craig Bolton, Ty Kennelly, Jason Ackermanis. Craig Bolton gets it eventually. Saddington, Matthews, Pike comes at him. Good tackle. Handball close to the boundary line. Saddington can take the boundary option. Get a ball in.
Let's have a look at Darren Creswell going up to one of the brothers, Brad Scott. And I reckon Darren Creswell will consider this. He's going to change his mind. Why would you leave the Swans just when maybe their forward line looks like it's going to be that potent? It could take them a long way.
Get another ball up. A week and a half is a long time in football. As Charman throws an elbow. Might get a free here. It's against Charman. So Williams, the recipient, from half back. And they're away again. Ball. You can see why. They've taken it away. Ball got it over the top. Crouch. Drop punt towards O'Loughlin. Had a lot of it. Umpire said no. Ball thumped toward the boundary line by Johnson. Tumbling. Ackermanis. Could have done with the possession, Ackermanis, but just eluded him.
It's a good effort by Ashley McGrath there to get back. Let's have another look at this. Just a fend off. He's got a free kick.
Things are going the Swans' way at the moment. Ball back into play. Ackermanis still no possessions. We can't count that. Crouch has got it under him. Got it out just in time. Williams. Almost a throw. Tunnelled it to Jude Bolton. Well, maybe there is a football god. If that was a throw, then it deserved to be out of bounds on the full. Down to that boundary line. Anthony Mithen.
Yeah, Michael Voss obviously struggling with that head cold. He had a nasty dose of it. He spent all day Friday in bed and spent that quarter time break with his face in a towel full of Vicks trying to clear the sinuses.
Yes, Michael Voss, who knocked back an offer to join Sydney in the mid-90s. We're pretty happy he made that decision. Lepage. Chris Scott. Power. Held up on the wing. They've been stagnant, the Lions. Chips it over the top. Lapper.
It's the first 2 marks they've taken this quarter, so they haven't found their targets.
The fourth of the Fab 4 goes long with a high kick towards attacking 50. Ball beats the big pack. Close to the boundary line. McRae keeps it in. High bomb. Hoping in the goal square. Getting back Barry. Getting there Brennan. Can he gather it? O'Loughlin does. Goes to Craig Bolton, and with arrogance, no, he doesn't take it away, he takes it through.
Well, we've seen once again Michael O'Loughlin right up in the Swans' back pocket. Now, Brennan was right with him. He could almost have given himself a shot at the goal as well, but just dragging each and every one of the opponents up and around the ground, I think, is unsettling. And Adam Goods, he's only had 8 possessions. I just wonder, Dermot, whether Lepage could go forward and give them a different mix, and Martin Pike do a direct swap onto Goods. He's got the athleticism.
He's definitely just unsettling the way they play football, that's for sure.
Ty Kennelly found Shorville in the back pocket with the kick in from full-back. Still allowed to kick in the Irishman, even though he just took off last week and forgot you had to kick it to yourself across the line. Goods flies. Charman. Saddington. Well, if it comes off, it looks okay. Goods. Craig Bolton. Heads down to the contest by Brad Scott. Lepage. Back into the corridor. Danger again. Lappin dispossessed. Hart. Around the body, hoping at half forward. Hand on ball, Matthews. Voss. Couldn't trap it. Maxfield. Over the top.
Tackle.
In trouble again. Good tackle late on Barry, and we'll get a bounce. Inside attacking 50 for the Lions, and they haven't been this far behind in a match for a while.
You can see the two tacklers beset upon the Sydney Swans play that they're working hard. It's just they're very unsettled by the way that Sydney are playing the game, and Goods is leading the charge on it.
McRae, Maxfield dives in, desperation, and gets a free kick for his trouble. Play on to advantage. Matthews, it was an advantage. Leppich takes the mark on the wing. High kick, looking or hoping for Bradshaw or Johnson. Bradshaw leaves it for Johnson, and then Shepherds. Johnson with some space finds Hart. Too far out to score. Holds it up.
Now they're static in the forward line. They'll just have to do the Brisbane thing and bomb to the goal square now.
He does exactly that, Dermot. High. Up they fly. Lynch got hands to it. Charman with the height, the reach, the gather, the spin, the kick, the goal!
Good agility shown by the big fella there, and once again they just had nothing unfolding, so they have to go to the front of the goal square, and Sydney are a wake-up to this style of play. You see the numbers they get here, and there's a pack in front, but he just stays at the ball, keeps playing it. Well done by the big kid there.
Yeah, it was great talent, wasn't it? Great call also, Dwayne. It lacked probably 30,000 people going up as one behind you, but I thought it was good.
Young Jamie Charman trying to inspire his team. Yet to win a premiership, Jamie Charman. Even though he played 22 games last year, didn't get a game in the grand final side. Ball back in the middle.
Ackers is in there now.
Kirk got the handball out. Once again, the takeaway. Goods gets on the end of Jude Bolton's pass with a good mark.
Here you go, Loughlin's the one with space at the back.
Goods high. O'Loughlin's got two to beat. Can't beat them both. Well, he might in the end, though. Lappin had enough of it to be paid the mark.
Just worry with young Brennan on him. He's getting more support now. There's more players around him. But young Brennan doesn't play for the body. He won't put a hand on it. He won't touch and feel O'Loughlin as the ball's coming in. So he's going to slip him on occasions.
Bradshaw, good mark over the top of Kennelly.
I guess the bottom line, though, he hasn't had a goal kicked on him yet. So whilst that's the case, Lee will stay with it.
Yeah.
Long kick from Bradshaw to Lynch, the man who normally replaces him in this lineup. Saddington sees it out of play, and we'll get a ball in. Jason Saddington, one of the rising stars of the AFL, has had a bit of a plateau. Father played reserves football for Richmond. And there's the leading disposal winners.
That tells a story, doesn't it? Goods as a forward, but gee, he plays as a midfielder most of the time, and it just shows you they're dominant in the middle of the ground.
Lynch out of the ruck, high kick, Voss one-on-one, goal square, crunch over the top, soccer through, and it was a Swan that maybe kicked it. It was. Well, that was a race on, nearly an own goal.
Now Lynch is, he's been thereabouts so far. He's had one shot on goal for a point. He's had 4 possessions, but Shawwell is playing a fantastic game, supporting his teammates. He was the third man up in that contest to spoil. He's run through the middle of the ground. He got the ball to Barry Hall that got a shot on goal as well. He's been playing a very good game, Andrew Shawwell. He knows that Lynch won't chase him far up the field.
We had the snickometer on that soccer at goal, and Matthews was mainly his foot, more bat than pad. Back pocket. Barry caught to play on and gets around Lynch. Takes them on, and the Swans have some confidence. Craig Bolton, Maxfield, high kick. Williams, centre of the ground, takes the mark. Fends off with the hand to the face, which is dangerous. Spearing ball inside 50. Kirk either misread it or it was too far for him. Leppich wide, and the Lions have some space on the outer side. Lappin and Bradscott. They raffled it. Brad's got the winning ticket. Over the top to Power. About to drive them. Well, goes short in the end. Probably not the best option. Black wide. Brad's got again. Playing without confidence at the moment, the Lions. Inside 50. One-on-one. Kick by Lynch. Hart dribbles it. Rolls it towards goal, and it misses. It's a behind.
That's a fair point. They are playing without confidence. I think we've seen a lot more dual handles, fumbles. Not clean, are they? And they haven't got the flow and the fluency in their game.
Good tackle, Ben Matthews.
I think it just all boils down to the midfield pressure that Sydney have putting on. It's put extra pressure on Brisbane's defence because the ball's coming in quickly and they're not getting that forward flow into their own forward line as quickly as normal.
Next target, Stuart Maxfield kicks to ex-Pie Nick Davis, and he kicks it too wide. Out of bounds on the full. Free kick to Black. Into the gutter. He is pushed by the umpire.
On the left foot, still a fair chance. Probably as much a chance to kick this as tossing it up in the air, somebody grabbing a mark and kicking a goal.
Almost the impossible angle. Drop punt towards goal, and no black magic there, only a behind.
It's not for such a wide ground. That pocket is not a really deep pocket. You can kick goals from out there. So Tony Lockett, well, kicked a lot of goals everywhere, but he used to like kicking them from that side.
Maxfield finds ball.
And he was a missing link last year for them, Jason Ball. He's an athletic, running, tall player, and he's allowed Goods to be released to the forward line. His form in the last 2 or 3 weeks has been as good as Sydney's form.
Now look at Creswell looking inwards. Now this is what's breaking up Brisbane, but they pick it off.
Ackermanis over the top to Lynch. It's a formality. Lynch straight in, and that might start them. Could spark them up.
Well, Acker still hasn't had a possession, but he's been involved in what could well be one of the most important passages of play of the game. It could be the spark, as you said, Dwayne. And Darren, for an experienced player, he telegraphed that.
Yeah.
The whole ground knew he was going to kick it to Leaping Leo.
You just knew he wanted to go in there because he looked down the line, and they've been so good at breaking up Brisbane's fix on the ball. Yeah. They just chopped it up on them. It was a wake-up to it.
So the first touch of the afternoon for Jason Ackermanis, and the Lions may be inspired by that performance. In the middle, Creswell trying to make amends, caught by Power, couldn't quite get the handball out to a teammate. Davis in the middle of it, got it out to Crouch just too late, and we'll get another ball up.
And Jason's playing a bit of Russian roulette here, and the Swans are going to have to be a little bit careful of it. Jared Crouch is getting sucked into the contest, and Ackers is just charging forward.
Yeah, he just backdoors, doesn't he? And then nicks off to the left-hand side of the screen. Just keep an eye on him here and see if he does it.
Saw a shot of Big James Micklejohn warming up on the boundary for the Swans. Crouch kicks toward attacking 50. Ball bounces unkindly for Hall. Nicely though for O'Loughlin. Can he keep it alive? Tried to get it to Williams. And the ball out of play. Jared Brennan picking the ball up for the boundary umpire kindly. Still a young man with manners.
We'll belt that out of him.
Back into play. Hall knocks it down. Creswell another possession. Maxfield another. Crouch another. Kennelly another. Teaming well the Swans. Kennelly nowhere to go to with the kick, so goes to Fosdyke with a handball. Shrugs an attempted tackle. 40 from goal. Heads toward the goal square. Getting back. Scott of the Chris variety. Thumps it though. O'Loughlin's got it to Saddington. He can kick it from there. Goes with a long high bomb. Goal square. Hall's got 4 to beat. They might come up with it. Bolton on hands and knees. Caught. The umpire will bounce.
Ooh, dangerous attempt of a mark by
It was
Brad
almost
Scott.
a fumble forward. Michael should have done a bit more than that, but that's where Brisbane were playing at their best, when they've got 3 and 4 backmen together.
Good bounce by umpire Kennedy. Caught. Kick half smothered. Micklejohn took it out of the air. And we'll get another ball up for Micklejohn to go at it. You mentioned at the start of the broadcast he's got that rugby union heritage, Dermot.
He might just try and grab it and rush the line here.
He might. As you said to a man of your background, Dermot, likes to say, no good playing the game they play in heaven if you ain't going to get there. Bounce. Up they fly, and Michael thumps it through for a behind.
What's his dimensions?
197 centimetres, so he's about 6'5 and a half, and they've got him listed at 93 kilograms, Micklejohn, but he does look bigger than that.
And the key stat here is 27 centimetres around the neck, so he's clearly clearly a rugby man.
Chris Johnson to bring it in from fullback. Goes with a terrible kick towards Ackermanis.
Fumble.
That made him earn it. He couldn't quite earn it. Crouch picks it off, kicks it back, tries for the return goal, and Chris Johnson will get another opportunity.
So that's the thing with Ackermanis. Just low on confidence. He'd have gobbled that up one take in the last, up until about the last couple of weeks.
Chris Johnson go long this time?
He's only got 2 options on for the short.
Wow, you heard the language there, telling them to move. Goes wide with the kick.
Jeez, that's an
Pleading with
unbelievable
them to
sign.
move. Williams to Creswell.
Second.
Sydney Swans looking awesome.
Jared, you said it about the sign. The best thing you could sense in league footy was when the opposition start arguing amongst themselves. You know you're halfway there. All you have to do is continue on your game plan. You know that they're self-destructing. Now, you go a long way to say that Brisbane will ever self-destruct, but when the fullback kicking in screams at his teammates to move because they're giving him nothing.
Two goals to Darren Creswell. Brisbane Lions have the use of a slight breeze in this second term, but time ticking away for them to use it.
It's a real chance now for Sydney just to break them apart, because we saw the sign there. Chris Johnson getting frustrated at fullback.
Chris to Brad to half forward to Voss. Now Power. Slips. Voss. Caught. Campbell. Kirk.
They're on their knees at the moment in this match, Brisbane. They've got off their knees a number of times, and that's why they're a champion side. Critical 5 minutes coming up.
Power to Lappin. He goes for goal, Lappin. Over the top. Through for a behind. In fact, out of play. He missed by a long margin.
I don't think Jonathan Brown is going to turn around 5 goals in a half, but one thing he does do is give them structure. They've had no half forward who's leading up to the ball carrier coming out of the back line.
Low McDonald doing the ruck work in the forward line, and he does well. Shark set, spins around, kicks it high toward the goal square. Williams. Goods the runner. Back to Williams, and they are playing with some confidence. Chipping it around in defence.
Now, see, Goods hasn't run on. Now, the reason is, if we just pan away a fraction, Goods on the left-hand side of screen, he just wants to stay at the ball. There he is now. They just want to try and break up Brisbane. They love it, the Lions, when you kick down the line like they're forcing them to now.
Matthews toward the boundary line. Chris Scott, hands on ball, handball. Johnson buffeted like a pinball, caught high.
But that's what they like doing, Brisbane. They're so good one-on-one contest. They love to make sure that the opposition kicks straight down the line. And Sydney, they just want to start chipping it around in the back line, as they've been doing. And Goods was the telltale sign there.
Chris Johnson, untidy pass, found Power to Ackermanis from 50, and his kick sprays wide, and it's out of bounds on the full, and that's what pressure can do.
This is the kick out. Last one for Johnson. And that is something move, because he's got no targets. Once again, the change of direction in the back line catches Brisbane out.
Yes, conversely, the Swans moving out from their behinds very well. Spearing ball from Davis to the boundary line, and we'll get a ball in.
Now, Creswell's coming off. He's earned a break. 2 goals in this quarter. Schneider on. He might get it here, Schneider, if he runs through behind the pack.
Michael John edged out of the contest, and the umpires saw it. No, he said Michael John was over the shoulder of Leppich. Free kick to the Lions.
Goody Two-Shoes has gone into the ruck, so he's up against the big fellow Beau McDonald, and Michael John is with Justin Leppich, who picks up the footy. They've done a good job, though, the key defenders in this quarter, Brisbane. Mel Michael's done pretty well on Barry Hall. He's closed him down. Jared Brennan's done well, and Leppich has done pretty well on his direct opponent in Goods.
7 possessions for Leppich this quarter.
To McGrath, half forward.
This place has been great.
Certainly has been, and he takes off from the fence with some poise. Handballs over the top. Maxfield couldn't get it to a target, and all Barry's good work might come undone. Power, McGrath, Johnson. Now Blacken through his hands, and that's an uncharacteristic fumble from him. Inside 50, and Goods.
They'll go sideways again here.
Adam Goods said he was inspired in his football after playing with the Atzik All-Stars at the start of the year. His mother was part of the stolen generation. And he has been one of the revelations this year, as we said at the start, shortening for the Brownlow and playing good football. Fosdyke chips it back again.
This is how they do it. And Goods is on now. He's run away from his opponent.
Yeah, Barry back to Goods. Bounce and a handball over the top. And there are a chance again here. Micklejohn inside 50. O'Loughlin!
That's what I was talking about, Jared.
Exactly walked with that pass.
He's just been able to shove the boy out of the way, Brennan, and the reason was because there was no contact early. He didn't know where the contact is coming from. He's off balance and he's looking at the ball, and there's a shove. There was no long-term contact. If you feel them for a while, you know what they're going to do. Now that's just inexperience, and O'Loughlin, he'll only need the one opportunity. The umpires put him around. Will he sneak again as he turns away Hayden Kennedy?
I reckon their biggest problem is not so much Brennan on this bloke, but Goods on Bo McDonald.
No doubt.
O'Loughlin has 3.
Has 4.
And he is a superstar.
Totally agree with you, Jared. Goods is the problem. I mean, this bloke, O'Loughlin, is a big problem once the ball gets deep inside 50. But the problem is in general play, and it is Goods who is making the mix-up difficult for Brisbane, and they can't. As I said, he is the most difficult match-up in league footy as we talk.
Well, Lee Matthews going for a move he pulled 2 years ago when they were in a similar situation.
Round
Justin
one.
Lepich has gone to the forward line, along with Michael Voss.
Untidy bounce with minutes remaining, but they'll get the takeaway again. The Sydney Swans. Wharf, who got it to Jude Bolton, got it back again, crunched.
Did well, didn't he, Rowan Wharf? He took that above his head and a big crunching tackle through onto the rib cage, and it's so easy to let the ball go and just make it an easy cough up, but he knows if he takes it to the ground, at least he's going to get a bounce down.
So many players take the easier option of just knocking on nowadays. Davis, kick smothered, Pike in there, smothered another, Power dives in, got one too high. Inside 2 minutes to half time.
They're good in the red time too, the Brisbane Lions.
Across from one back flank to the other to Michael. Traps it but falls in trouble. Brad Scott. Hall comes at him, he wants him. You can see it written on Hall's face. Michael back again. Well played, big Barry Hall. Free kick back on play.
Jeez, it was like the school bullies there. Yeah, one of the Cray brothers, he's got the reputation, and Barry Hall wanted it.
This is good to watch at the moment. McGrath, half back.
It was magnificent. Actually, a bit of a weight difference, but you'd pay money to see that one go the distance. Inside 50s for this quarter. Brisbane have gone in 13 times to Sydney's only 11, so backline for Sydney doing good.
Brennan takes on Williams, and a big thump out of play is exactly what the Swans need right now with a minute to play.
I said doing good. My English teacher will kill me for that. Not that I speak correctly at the best of times. Yeah, inside 50. Brisbane Lions for the second quarter, 13.
Yeah, she'll ring you with your pronunciation corrections, Dermot. Ball back into play. Goods over it. Couldn't quite do as Goods this time. Barry, almost the throw to Schneider, who gets it out to Kirk. Maybe chance for a late score. Bolton over the top. Fosdyke, Goods. He might finish it all off. Drop punt towards goal. Across the face. Now behind.
Oh, but it's a handy point.
Martin Pryke having a rest. And onto the ground is Tim Notting. Gives him good leg speed. He's an unusual type. Got a good spring, good running power.
Chris Johnson, is he pleading this time for them to move? Long kick. He's hoping for White. Goods up with him. Off hands. Lappin couldn't trap it. Ball comes up towards Goods, and a free kick here. It'll go to Fosdyke. Now there's time enough for the Swans.
5 possessions to Nigel Lappin.
Fosdyke to Jude Bolton. He's had a great afternoon so far.
Brisbane put up a bit of a zone here. They've got about 9 men just strategically plotted inside 50.
See the time clock. Tick, tick, Craig Bolton, Matthews,
He'll get
Tick.
Well, that's the zone that's done that. That saved them a goal there, Brisbane.
It's actually a really good running by Justin Leppis to assess that situation. It gave them an extra man into a zone and it didn't allow them to run it on. But in the end, they were killed by not knowing the time.
19-point lead here at 29-point lead, I correct myself there, to the Sydney Swans, who are playing great footy at the SCG. Sydney 9-5, 59. The Brisbane Lions 4-6, 30.